He is a 29-time Moth Story Slam winner, 4-time Moth Grand Slam winner. Please give it up for Matthew Dix.
It's the spring of 2009, and my wife Alicia comes to me and says that we're having sex tonight, which in any other circumstance I would be very excited about. I am a huge fan of sex with my wife. I am probably the biggest fan of sex with my wife, I hope. I really hope that's the case. Because I have married up. Like, really, I have killed it. Like, I have married a brilliant and beautiful woman, and she has married me. Like a person whose friends describe as a necklace stump with legs for arms, which is that terrible combination of mean and true. And so the fact that she has married me and now she wants to have sex with me is incredible. Like, I feel like every time we have sex, like an angel gets its wings. It is an absolute miracle that this is happening. But I'm not happy on this occasion because tonight we're having sex to make a baby. And Alicia doesn't know it, but I don't really want to have a child. She doesn't know it because I have told her I want to have a child because I want her to continue to be married to me. But in my heart, I really don't. I really don't want to have a kid. And it's not because I don't like kids. I'm an elementary school teacher. They are around me all the time. I really kind of like them. But I don't want kids of my own. I have been a parent before in my life, and I did a shitty job of it that time. And I'm worried that I'm going to ruin it again. When I was a boy, I was the eldest of 5, and I had these parents that were they took a laissez-faire approach to parenting. They treated it the same way that people treat the show Law and Order. You can like dip in and watch an episode and then leave for like months and come back and it's the same thing. That's sort of what they thought about parenting. My mother was the Hubble Space Telescope of parenting. She was positioned as far away as humanly possible and faced in the opposite direction at all times. And so I spent my childhood with these people who occasionally put food in the refrigerator, but not much else. And as the eldest of 5, there were these enormous chasms where parenting was supposed to happen and it didn't. And so I had to fill all of those chasms for my parents. I was the lifeguard at every swimming pool and every pond. I was the tucker-inner every night before we went to bed. I was the guy who put the bologna and the ketchup on the sandwiches for lunch. My parents would go out on a Saturday night and they would come home at 2 in the morning and they would tell me, at the age of 7, I was told, you have to stay up until we get home and you are not allowed to go to sleep. And so I would sit on the couch under this Afghan, like terrified, partially because I'm watching The Twilight Zone, which scared the shit out of me, but also because even at that age, I understood that like I've got the weight of the world on my shoulders and my shoulders are not big enough for the weight of this world. And so I go through my childhood as a parent that I don't want to be, and I screw it up everywhere. My brother gets run over by a car because I am not looking. My sister gets like trapped in a toilet because I am not paying attention. Like, I just make it terrible for my brothers and sisters. And now Alicia wants to have sex with me, and she wants to make a baby, and I feel like she's getting ready to put this stone over my shoulder. Like, she's gonna wrap this thing around me for the rest of my life, and it's gonna drag me down like I was a boy. And even the process of baby making has been ruined now because of this terrible thing called the internet. Alicia has found this website where she can enter in all of her like mysterious lady data, and it will tell her the moment that her egg is ready to be fertilized. And it turns out a woman's egg is like an avocado. They are only ripe for like 14 minutes. And she knows which 14 minutes it is. It's like, it's tonight, we have to have sex. And so instead of this like massive carpet bombing of my wife's uterus, which I had planned to do for months, instead, I am relegated to like this single surgical strike. Like as if the stakes were not high enough already, this is it for me. And so Alicia's in the kitchen and she's getting like my pre-flight meal ready. She's cooking us dinner. And I hear a scream. It's a terrible scream. And I come running to the kitchen and I find her on the floor and she's holding her hand and she's crying. She had a skillet in the oven, and she took it out and put it on the stovetop and then forgot that it was hot and reached for it. And it's a bad burn. Like, I worked in restaurants. This is a very bad burn. It's angry and red and blistering. We call the doctor to find out if she should go to the hospital, and she has no pain tolerance whatsoever. So it's like, really, it's a situation. And as I'm trying to help her and I'm icing her down, there's a thought in the back of my mind. It's the first time I've ever had this thought. I'm not gonna have sex tonight. This is gonna be amazing. And I feel like I'm gonna have a 1-month reprieve from becoming a parent. And it's a month, but to me, it is everything. It is a month without that stone around my neck. And the night is bad for her. We have her hand in a bucket full of ice all night long, and she really suffers. It's a bad, bad burn. And so we're getting ready for bed, and I'm lying in bed. I've got a book, and I'm reading it, and I'm waiting for her to come in. And as she comes into the room, she doesn't have her hand in a bucket of ice anymore. She's gripping a bag of frozen corn, and her teeth are gritted. And I look at her, and I say, honey, what are you doing? And she says, it has to be tonight. And I say, no, it doesn't. Like, next month, the computer will tell us to have sex again, and we will have sex on that night instead. It will keep coming until eventually the thing happens. And she says no. And I am staring at this brilliant and beautiful woman, gripping a bag of frozen vegetables, ready to have sex with me. And it's ridiculous that it has taken this long, but it is the moment that I realize I'm not gonna have to be a parent alone. Like, truly, it's the moment I look at this amazing woman who will have sex with me while holding frozen vegetables. And I realize I really have married up. Like, there will not be a night where I am hiding under an Afghan, worried about taking care of my kids by myself. She is going to be with me. And it's the moment I realize how strong and how certain and how good it will feel to be with her. And so I say one more time, I say, are you sure tonight is the right night? And she says, just make it fast, which I am perfectly capable of doing. And so I proceed with my single surgical strike. And 9 months later, Clara is born. I get it done. And 3 years later, Charlie is born. And it has been 8? Yeah, she's 8. 8 glorious years of parenting, and truly for not a single day have I ever felt alone. Thank you.
Comes the word